consultant, Fertility and IVF Specialist at Cloudnine Vikaspuri. Today in this video, we will talk about IVF process. What are the timelines of IVF treatment? So, IVF process generally starts from the second day of your menstrual cycle. On second day of your menstrual cycle, your fertility specialist will do a transvaginal scan and will decide whether she can start the IVF treatment in this cycle or not. So, if your day 2 ultrasound or TVS is baseline, that means your ovaries doesn't have any follicle which is more than 10 mm in size, and there is no cyst, your endometrial lining is completely shed, then it is good to start in that cycle. So, when we start the IVF cycle, you need to take injections. These are hormonal injections which are given to stimulate your ovaries so that multiple follicles start developing in your ovaries. So, these injections are given for 9 to 12 days depending on how your body responds to those injections. In between these 9 to 12 days, you will have to visit every 3rd, 4th day for the transvaginal scan to see the progress of the size of the follicles in the transvaginal scans. Once the size of the follicles is appropriate, it is between 17 to 19 mm diameter, then a last injection is given generally in the night for the final maturity of the eggs. 34 to 36 hours after this injection, your egg retrieval will be planned. Egg retrieval is the process where you will be put under anesthesia and your eggs will be taken out. It is done vaginally and it is a painless process because it is done under complete anesthesia. The process itself is of 15 to 30 minutes depending on how many follicles are there in your ovaries. And after the process, you can be discharged 3 to 4 hours later. So it's a daycare process. You will be admitted early in the morning and will be discharged by late afternoon. So once the egg retrieval is done, one part of the IVF cycle is done. Now the next thing is done in the IVF lab. So now the embryologist will see the eggs. They will take your partner's semen sample and they will see the sperms. Fertilization will happen in the lab and the embryos will be cultured in the lab for 3 to 5 days. Now your fertility specialist will decide whether she wants to transfer the embryos in the same cycle or she wants to transfer the embryos after one cycle. Nowadays, mostly we are doing all freeze cycles. That means we take up the eggs in one cycle and freeze the embryos and transfer later on. So, if it is planned to transfer the embryos in the next cycle, your first part of the IVF is done after egg retrieval and you are free after 13-14 days from your second day of period. So, it is a 2-week process. After that, you will be informed that how many embryos are formed, and in the next cycle, from the second day, you will be given tablets to prepare your uterus for the embryo transfer. So there, in the next cycle, there will be one ultrasound on second day of periods, and another ultrasound on somewhere between 12th to 14th day of your cycle, and then after 3 to 5 days, your embryo transfer will be done. So the second process is very simple, in which there will be 2 or 3 maximum visits. After embryo transfer, you will be given medicines for 14 days. And after 14 days will be a blood test to confirm whether you got pregnant or not. So if we see in short, the IVF is generally nowadays divided into 2 cycles and every cycle is for 2 weeks. First cycle will include injections and egg retrieval. Second cycle will include just endometrial preparation, that is preparing your uterus for embryo transfer and a simple embryo transfer. Thank you.